Rodney, what do you got for us? What you're seeing out of North Knox and what they've got?
Yeah, North Knox, they're a senior-heavy team. They start 4 seniors. They rely on Lexi Primus. She's a 5A senior. She's their leading scorer with about 14.5 points a game. She's committed to play at Lipscomb next year, but she's their leading scorer, outside threat, good ball handler. But she's not their only scorer. Brandon Fleur, 5'7" senior, averaging 10.5 a game. 5'9" senior Jade Richter, averaging about 10 points a game. The other senior, 5'6" Millie Leroy, she's averaging about 6.5 a game. And they also start a freshman, 5'2" Caroline Guinea, averaging about 7.5 points a game. They really don't go much deeper than that, though. Rosalind Arms off the bench. She's probably their primary post player when she gets in there. They'll do much more than 6 feet, though. But like I said, this is a senior-heavy team, and they're hungry. This is one of the better programs in the state that's never been to state championship. They've won 8 regional titles, 8 last week. Never been to state, but they're hungry, and as you can see, they've got a sea of red over there across the way.
Right. This gym is just absolutely rocking. Both schools brought their bands. Always love to see. You got one half of the gym in red and the other half of the gym in purple. This is exactly what you like to see at this level. Just a great experience for these girls. You told me a stat. I think you had it in what you sent me, that North Knox is 104 and 27 in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And you said 8 regional titles, but never having gotten past that. Not being able to get to the state final game. Again, in this last several years, they've been just a threat.
Yeah.
The problem is they face one of the other premier teams in the South, and that's in South Knox. They play them. They play them every year, and it seems like every year, South Knox is the one that comes out. You tell us a little bit about that game. I think you said it was a really close game. North Knox ended up pulling up an upset, or
yeah. I'd say South Knox is a little bit of a favor coming in to their excellent matchup. North Knox, I can't remember what the score was, but North Knox ended up pulling away late. South Knox was down double digits, and they kept fouling. With last 4 minutes left, the North Knox made all the free throws. Ended up with 25, 30-point game. But not to make excuses for South Knox, because North Knox obviously was the better team that day. But South Knox, I'm sure you guys, I think you were hit by snow as well.
Yes.
They didn't have school for a whole week. They were unable to practice or get into the gym at all. And they also had some illness, too, so I know that affected them. But and also, like you're saying with Eastern, South Knox had the better player, I think, but North Knox had the better team that day. And it's South Knox has been in the way for, whoever comes out of that section will always think they're going to make the run in the tournament. I think I also think you know the last 6 seasons, 5 of those seasons, North Knox was put out by the team at one state.
Wow.
South Knox last year, Forest Park twice, and Linton twice.
Right, and in Forest Park for just 2 or 3 years there, it was just absolutely phenomenal. Linton down a little bit more this year, but just still every year. And then you guys in the regional able to knock off Mater Dei, who was just playing some fantastic basketball in a really tight game there. So, again, 2 very similar paths for Eastern coming out of a really tight sectional. Happened to be Providence. Again, as you said, I felt like they might have had a better player, but we had a better team in Crawford. Maybe they had a slightly better player in Stroud, but we had a better team going up against Austin, one of the leading scorers in the state of Indiana, just over 2,000 points. And really able to, she ended up with 20-something in the game, able to just grind out a 3-point win in that Charlestown Regional to put us to the day. So, again, just exciting to see. Rodney, I appreciate all your insight here. Everybody healthy for North Knox, sickness or anything like that?
Coach told me earlier this week they had a few cases of sniffles, but I looked at them today. They didn't look bad, and as far as I know, everyone's healthy. Yeah.
I think Eastern's kind of the same boat. We had some sickness earlier in the week, and fortunately, you got some time to rest. We had an ankle with the player, and it was kind of. I think we're back to full strength. So we'll see what's going to happen today. For the Lady Musketeers, it's again very similar situation. We're going to start 4 seniors. That 5th, maybe a senior in the Sarah, maybe Robbins. We'll see in a minute. In the sophomore, playing really just kind of 7 deep for the most part. And again, you got Trainer coming off the bench. It looks like both these teams are really strong when they get 4 girls double figures. A team that Eastern's averaging about 53 a game, and North Knox is averaging about 57 a game. So teams that probably play at similar paces. In this kind of game, I don't know that you're going to see teams just pressing, but how well can you create pressure defensively? How well can you control the basketball? How can you limit turnovers? Who's going to come out on top? You got senior team versus senior team. Again, it should be just a fantastic contest here for that second game. And the Green Yes, semi-state. Again, Rodney, I know you got some places to go. If you want to jump off here, I appreciate your insight.
I'm going to run down and try to get a photo, but I'm also keeping stats, so I could probably jump on a halftime.
That would be awesome. You want to jump back on here, talk after the game, maybe, or whatever? We'll talk more. I appreciate it again. Rodney Lucas from the Vince Sun commercial.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yep. Got about 5 minutes left. Talk just a little bit further about this Eastern basketball team. Eastern led in scoring by Addie Smith. Addie Smith averaging just over 12 a game, 12.5 points a game. Sydney Burton averaging 11 a game. Sydney really having, in the tournament, some really solid games, but we were not able to get the three to fall. Really just not shooting particularly well, really sectional or regional. Really able to pound the ball inside. Sydney getting 19 one night, double-double one night, just been able to really help us out to get our offense flowing. So those two got to be key. Again, for North Knox, no real size on this team. They do have one 5'11" girl that's kind of off the bench. You got 5'6", 5'8", 5'7", 5'4". Again, most of their players that they match up size-wise, not the exact same as what we see with our Musketeers. I think that inside game is going to be crucial tonight. It's going to be crucial. Both these teams are going to let it fly. They're going to shoot a lot. Again, a little difference in coaching. I think North Knox's coach, he's been coaching for 30 years, been at Knox for 18 years. Over 300 wins in his career for the Musketeers. Taylor Drury just in her 4th year. Obviously, she was on that 2017 team that went and won the state finals for Eastern. Can she tap into some of that experience as a player? This is her first regional. I think this is our second regional or semi-state in school history. Again, we got the win in 2017 and then today. Again, can Taylor kind of tap into that? Can she kind of overcome? I'm sure that there's nerves flowing and all that kind of stuff. We've done a really nice job of being prepared and being ready for whatever teams have thrown at us in this tournament. What she got cooked up for this North Knox team. Again, back to our team. Again, led by Sydney and Addie. Horner averaging just under 9 a game. Robbins averaging 8 a game. Trainer averaging 5 a game. I said this over and over and over again. I think it's just if we can get 4 girls in double figures, we're going to be in a really good spot. That's for sharing the basketball. This team is very unselfish, averaging about 10 assists a game. Led there by Addie Smith with just over 4 games. Can we get 10, 12 assists tonight? That means we're sharing the basketball, looking to get better shots each and every play. If that's the case, again, I think we can be very effective inside and out. I do think we're going to have to get some shots to fall. This isn't going to be one of those where we can go. I think we were 3 of 17 in the regional from 3. We got to get some shots to fall. Who's that going to be? Is it going to be Horner step up? Trainer? Is it going to be Robbins step up? Addie going to get hot? Who's going to step up for this team to be an outside threat? I know both these teams are going to play several different defenses. Eastern played some zone, played some man, kind of been all over the place. So what is going to be their plan for? It's going to be Lexington Primus again. Senior commit to Lipscomb University, averaging about 15 a game, close to 15 a game. What's going to be their plan for her? And then can they keep them from getting that second chance points? So Primus averaging almost 15 a game. McClure, another senior, averaging just over 10 a game, and then Richter averaging almost 10 a game. So again, I couldn't compare these two any more closely. These two teams they seem so evenly matched. And so again, I can't wait to see what's going to happen on tonight's contest. Elsewhere in Southern Indiana, let's talk just a little bit about that before we get to introductions. It looks like, let's see, Borden did win. They won 56-38 against Evansville Christian down at halftime, and then came out to a huge 18-3 third quarter, and just a huge run in that third quarter to be able to take control of the game. The Highlanders from Floyd Central fell to the Lawrence Central Bears, lost by 6. Again, really just one quarter that kind of was the difference in the game. Every other quarter played to just 1 point, except for that second quarter. Obviously, Lawrence Central led by Lampley, that's going to LSU. first game of the 3A semi-state against the Washington Hatchets. It looks like that's 60-54 at this time. I think that's the final score. So lots of action in play. Again, we're excited about tip-off here. We're gonna cut to just a couple commercial breaks. We're gonna be right back with the starting lineups and the beginning of this game. This is Jake Johannesmeyer. This is Lady Musketeer basketball here from the Greencastle semi-state. Again, we're going to be ready to go in just a minute. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLN.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium, and we're ready for the starting lineup for tonight's big game. The crowd is on their feet, and they're going wild. The team is coming onto the court. Here comes the quarter pounder with cheese, along with the spicy McCrispy and the McDouble. And starting at center tonight will be the Big Mac. And ready to come into the game at any time is a plate of fish. Look on the sideline, folks. We have chicken nuggets cheering along with the golden delicious fries. They're hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into McDonald's in Salem, West Baden, and Mitchell before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink and that one-of-a-kind Mickey D's sweet tea. Or hot or cold coffee drinks from the McCafe. Order inside or drive-through now with the 2 lanes and use the mobile app for great deals. And get your food delivered at home or at the curbside. You can order at halftime and enjoy that one-of-a-kind taste without missing the next play. Set a pick and roll on into McDonald's today. You'll be loving it too. Drive-through open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. And don't forget to catch WSLM's Coach's Corner live at McDonald's in Salem on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'm loving it.
It's March Madness time with girls and boys high school state finals and NCAA ball nearing tournament time. And at John Jones Auto Group in Salem, Scottsburg, Corydon, and Greenville, it's time to get in gear. Make a fast break today and score a 2026 Chevy Traverse with a $1,250 Costco Executive Member Incentive towards the purchase or lease of a 2026 Chevy Traverse. Or set yourself up with a jump shot to get 3.9% financing for 60 months on a 2026 Chevy Equinox plus no payments for 90 days. Or if a truck is in your future, dribble on in and find a new 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Crew Cab with TurboMax engine with 1.9% financing for well-qualified buyers. Or you could get up to $7,350 off for current Chevy owners and lessees when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Stop in at one of the locations in Salem, Scottsburg, Corydon, and Greenville to check out your new ride today at John Jones Auto Group or shop online at johnjonesautogroup.com. Schedule your service today or check out tire deals. Or if you draw a foul on the road with an accident, then take your ride to the John Jones Collision Center. For all your needs, call 877-473-5546. You see so many because they paid so little.
And we're back here again. This is the McNally Center, the Greencastle semi-state between the North Knox Warriors and the Eastern Lady Musketeers. Starting for Eastern tonight, we've got Cindy Burton, Addie Smith, Katie Hunter, Avery Smith, and Bailey Robbins. Starting for the North Knox Warriors, number 1, Billy Leroy, number 11, Lexi Cremus, number 12, Bailey McClure, number 15, the freshman Caroline Yenny, and then number 41, Jade Richter. Again, so North Knox starting four seniors and a freshman. Eastern starting 3 seniors, a junior and a sophomore. Again, I'm looking forward to this contest. 2 very evenly matched teams, a fantastic environment here at Greencastle. Again, this is my first time here at this gym. Just a really cool environment, cool gym, good capacity. Again, both chair blocks running. North Knox got a little bit bigger chair blocks than what Eastern has, but I think Eastern's got a little bigger fan base than what North Knox has. So we're here for tip-off. Avery Smith versus Jade Richter. And Avery's going to get the tip. Tips it to Addie Smith. Kicks it out to Robbins. Robbins shot fake. Over across the wing to Hunter. Hunter back out top to Addie Smith. North Knox in a man-to-man. Hand off there to Avery. Back hand off to Katie Hunter. Ball gets inside to Avery Smith. Over to Burton. Burton's going to drive left. Gets into the lane. Spin move. And that's going to be a jump ball. Kind of spin Avery's man left Avery. It kind of went to trap. And City turned into a 2-man trap there. That's going to be the Knox basketball. Eastern in a diamond press. Gets the ball into Leroy. Up to McClure. Kicks it over to Primus. Eastern in the man-to-man as well. Primus being guarded there by Addie Smith. Addie kind of sagging off, just kind of staying at the three-point line. Over to McClure, out top. North Knox double high ball screen. Going to be McClure on the drive. She drives into a wall. Good defense there by the Musketeers. Burton's going to come down the rebound. Eastern on the run, gets it to Honor. Honor gets into the lane. Over to Burton. Burton drives the baseline. Spins back. And good. Good move there. Oh, the ball got stuck in the net. I was like, I thought they were calling something. Officials looking for somebody to just hit the net. Looks like they got tangled. And, okay. Official wasn't going to try to embarrass himself and miss, so one of the players did it. And Eastern up 2-0. 6:52, just over a minute to play. It's going to start in that diamond press again. Not kind of full court, full extension here in this press, but just kind of seeing where they can get a trap. That's going to be, let's see. That's going to be stolen there by Addie Smith. She's going to try to get to the rim against number 1, Leroy. Ball ends up on the ground. Ball around ends up in the hands of North Knox. Addie Smith had a shot at it. Up to McClure. McClure finds a wide open Richter underneath. Miscommunication there by the Lady Musketeers. That weak side just left her wide open. 2-2. Avery Smith driving left. Gets into the lane. And she's going to double dribble. They must see something that Avery versus Leroy that they've kind of gone to her a couple times thinking maybe there's a mismatch there. She spun back, and I think she was trying to pass there to Burton, but lost it. It was going to be a call with a double dribble. North Knox basketball. They gets the ball into Primus. Back over to Leroy. Gets it up to Yenny. Yenny's going to be tipped out of bounds there by Robbins. Good hustle there by Bailey. Going to be underneath the basket for the North Knox Warriors. And if they can't get Primus going to look fire for three and good. And we've got to know that that's going to be the girl they're going for. Addie Smith gets it over to Avery. Avery trying to drive against Yenny. Robbins is going to fire for three. No good. And they're going to get a foul on Honor on the block out. Good block out there by McClure. Honor's going to pick up her first. 5:42 to play. North Knox with a 5-2 advantage. Primus back to Leroy. Back to Primus. Very patient against this press. Gets it up to Richter. Richter finds on the other end. Thought she got by with the travel there. Misses the layup, and it's going to be a jump ball. Again, the back of that press, we kind of left the person open. Fortunately, she missed. Now, North Knox is going to return a favor with a man-to-man press. They're going to pick up Addie Smith full court. Addie goes right by Primus. Gets it up to Robbins in the corner. Robbins out top to Avery Smith. Avery handoff to Addie Smith. Addie going up against, nice move there by Addie Smith, and she's going to get to the line for two. Makes a strong move against Yenny. And it looks like Yenny's going to pick up her first. So something clearly in these scouting reports that they're going to see if they can't try to attack Yenny a little bit. Both Avery and Addie have kind of singled her out to try to go at her. Addie's first free throw is good. 5-3 in favor of North Knox. And the second free throw, no good. Rebounded there by Yenny. She's going to go the other way, finds McClure. McClure drives the baseline. She's going to be trapped. Kicks it back out to Yenny. Cross court to Leroy. Gets it to Richter. Richter drives the baseline and gets all the way to the rim for two. Again, we did the weak side of that Just kind of lost her a little bit. She's able to go right by. High ball screen there for Addie Smith. Gets it to Robbins in the corner for three. No good. It's going to be rebounded there by Yenny. Up to McClure. Finds. It's going to be Premise for three. No good. Rebounded there by Avery Smith. Coach Drury saying slow down a little bit. Again, I think we got to be super careful about that one pass and shot. It's just not a great look for us really with any of our girls. Robbins out top. Hand off to Honor. Honor gets it batted away. Finds Robbins. Robbins open for three. No good. On the air ball rebounded there by Avery Smith. Avery's going to try to get in the lane. Finds her sister. Addie's going to try to go up with it and gets hammered. Take your pick. It's either 15 or 1. The official is, they're going to say 11. Sorry, I thought that was 1. But they're going to say 11. Premise is going to pick up her first. Addie Smith's going to go to the line for 2. First one is good. Bailey Traynor going to check into the game. And then Rosalind Armas is going to check in the game for North Knox. And neither of these teams incredibly deep. They don't play much beyond 6 or 7 players. Addie Smith's second free throw is also good. 4:04 to play. North Knox on top by 2, 7-5. Eastern in kind of that 1-2-2 half-court trap. Get it up to McClure. Back over to Premise. Premise kicks over to Yenny. They get the ball inside. That's the third. That's Armas. She kind of throws it up. That ended up in the hands of Yenny, and they're going to get a foul there on 24, Avery Smith. It looked like Armas was going to fall down. She kind of just threw it up, and it ended up in the hands of a teammate. Ball inbound to Armas. Over to Leroy. Nice screen there. Gets the ball wide open to Richter. Richter misses the layup. Good set play there. Out of bounds. Ball up to Traynor on the sideline. Hands it off to Addie Smith. Over to Honor. Honor trying to work in the lane. She's going to get stolen there by McClure. McClure's going to try to attack the basket. She spins and kind of throws it up, and it ends up in the hands of Jade Richter to clean up the mess. Great defense there, but then nobody on that weak side. 9-5 in favor of the North Knox Warriors. Avery Smith going up against Richter. Over to Traynor. Again, right now, the handoff got poked out of bounds. I think we've got to be incredibly careful. These handoffs are just a little bit passive right now, and North Knox is playing those handoffs every time. So that's 3 or 4 times they've either got a steal or a deflection because we're not closing the gap on that handoff. Avery Smith's going to get in the lane, kicks to Traynor. Traynor out top to Honor. On the wing to Addie Smith. Addie's going to get in the lane, finds Avery Smith. Avery's going to fire for 3 and good. And she's going to cut this to 1. North Knox looking around a little bit. Gets it up to Premise. Eastern in that 1-2-2. Trying to trap out of this. On the wing to McClure. Back to Premise. All the way around to Richter. Richter over out top to Premise. Kicks to McClure. Thought about a 3. They're going to find Leroy for 3. No good. Rebounded there for North Knox. And Marmons is going to try to throw it back up. Throws it over the backboard. And Eastern's got to control that board. Right? That was a kind of a message earlier in the week that we've got to control the boards. Cannot let them have second shots. North Knox in that diamond press the same. Ball got deflected over to Burton, over to Avery Smith, back to Eddie, and then Knox backs off. 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Knox up by 1. Avery Smith on the drive. Finds Burton out top. Burton ball screen there and she's going to get fouled. Oh, at first I thought they called that on the screen. They're going to call that on 34, Rosalind Ames. Eliza Sterrett checked into the game for the Lady Musketeers. Ball gets into Burton. Burton's going to cash in. Good set play there. Kind of that screen to screener, but Burton just kind of stayed in the middle of the lane. And Eastern takes their first lead of the game. McClure going to fire for three. No good. Rebounded there by Sterrett. She's going to hit the head. That's going to be on 41 Richter. That's one of those things that Sterrett brings to this team. Yenny going to check back in for North Knox. Sterrett just brings in that tenacity on the glass, and definitely one of the biggest things that she can bring in this game. Can we control the North Knox go to a man press? Addie Smith's kind of handling it by herself. She's going to drive, kicks it to Burton. Burton gets around her defender and goes right to the rim for two. North Knox just does not have an answer for Sydney Burton right now. It's going to be McClure, gets into the lane, throws up left-handed, no good, air ball. Rebounded by Burton. Coach Drury says, slow down just a second, run a set. High ball screen there for Addie. Addie Smith's going to get in the lane, finds Trainer for three, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds. They're going to say that it's off McClure. Number 22 going to check in. North Knox going to an eighth player. Not exactly what we expected. Katie Hunter going to check into the game. Minute 11 to play in this first quarter. Eastern with a 3-point advantage with the ball out underneath their basket. Stolen there by Yenny. Yenny's going to look to run. Kicks it back out to Primus. Primus all the way around to Richter. They're going to get a foul there on the baseline. I think that's going to be Sterrett. Sterrett, just her first foul. Again, kind of just a lazy passer on the other end. Leroy into inbound. They got it right to Primus. Primus goes to the rim hard. Misses the shot. Going to be a scramble on the floor. That's going to be a 5 or 6 way jump ball. Position at North Knox. North Knox coach did not like that. I do think Sterrett had good defensive position there. Primus just kind of throw it up and look at it. She's trying to look for a rebound. The ball gets into Primus on the wing. She gets into the lane. Primus going up against Addie Smith. Pulls up jumper, no good. Rebounded there by Sterrett. Great defense there by Addie Smith. She has just been a defensive stopper pretty much this whole tournament, really this whole year. I know that she's going to make it tough on Primus no matter what happens. High ball screen there. 30 seconds to play. I think Eastern settle for just taking one shot if they can. High ball screen. Honor tries to throw it to Sterrett. Honor's going to try to get in the lane. Going to get it back to Addie Smith. 17 seconds to play. Addie Smith's going to get right by her defender. Kind of uses Sterrett as a screen, and she's going to get to the rim for two. Kind of a weird play, but Addie Smith's going to take this to 5. That's going to be Leroy. She kicks it over to 22 Williams. Williams for three, no good. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. Eastern on top, 14-9. We're going to cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back with the second quarter. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on 97.9 WSLM.
Billy Martin's store in Martinsburg, Indiana, was established in 1859 and is the oldest family-owned business in Indiana and continues to serve southern Indiana and the Louisville area. They offer quality appliances, flooring that includes luxury vinyl plank, tile and carpet, furniture, and mattresses for your home. Take advantage of their financing options and free delivery services, including free haul-off of your old appliances. Call Janice or Tanya today at 812-967-3997 for a free estimate. Billy Martin's store services what they sell. Until March 1st, stop in at Billy Martin's store and find rebates of up to $150 on classic Speed Queen washers. Billy Martin's store supports the Lady Musketeers.
347. And we are back here at Greencastle, 280 South Semi-State. Do want to say a quick shout-out to the Musketeer Brigade. Both bands are here today, and I will never knock another school's band, but our band just does a fantastic job of adding energy and just being involved. And, man, I'm just so glad that they could come. Eastern going back with Robbins, Avery, Addie Smith, Katie Hunter, and Sydney Burton going back with the normal starters. Looks like North Knox going back with the starters, except for Aunt Armis is going to be in the game. Hand off to Hunter on the wing. She's going to get into the lane, She's going to try to put it up. Kind of, she probably could have used her left hand there. She kind of gets underneath Armas, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. It's going to be Eastern basketball underneath the basket. Eastern into Avery Smith. Back to Addie, or trying to get back to Addie Smith. She's going to get into the lane. She's going to cut back, left hand off the glass, no good. Ends up in the hands of Sydney Burton, and she's going to get an easy two. Eastern staying in that press. Over to Leroy. Gets it up to Guinea. Guinea's going to try to bounce pass into Armas. That's going to be an and one for Rosalind Armas. That foul's going to be on 24. Avery Smith picks up her second. Again, kind of a breakdown in the press. The back of that press just did not rotate over, and as they had kind of broken, the back of that press has got to step up into that lane. You cannot just stay underneath the basket. You're giving them kind of an easy look. Armas is going to go line for an easy one, and she cashes in. North Knox staying in the man-to-man press. Robbins going up the sideline. Robbins tries to dribble behind her back, and they come with the trap. She's just got to quit. You got to quit that stuff. Going the other way, and they're going to get a jump ball there. Robbins kind of she had her kind of down the sideline, and then looks like Primus comes the trap. North Knox on the jump ball, going to get the ball out of bounds. They get it into Leroy. Eastern in the man-to-man. Gets it to Guinea. They're going to get 40 away from the ball. Starrett's going to pick up her second. Don't know what the call was there. I was looking at the ball, but they're saying Starrett was a little too physical on that screen. Again, a breakdown play, and that's going to be that's Leroy ends up with just an easy two. And Eastern is going to call a timeout. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLN.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
And we're back here at the McNally Center in Greencastle, Indiana. Again, North Knox going on a little bit of run, two kind of breakdowns. We had one just we've probably had three of those underneath the basket where I don't know if there's a miscommunication on the switch or just they're getting caught up in a screen or what, but really, Richter had two, and then Leroy got that one where they end up with a wide-open layup on the inbounds. Again, something that we definitely want to address here at halftime, making sure that we're having good communication on the inbounds. And then, again, kind of silly turnover half court. Once you get to the tournament, you kind of see that, just every turnover gets amplified. Eastern gets the ball into Addie Smith, knocks in that man-to-man, but it is man-to-man, but they're looking to go trap as soon as they can. Burton wide open, finds Starrett, back to Burton. A little bit of a scramble. Burton gets it under control. Burton out to Robbins. Robbins being guarded by Primus. Sorry, that's McClure. Robbins tries to get in the lane, throws it up. Off the right, ends up in the hands of Burton on the rebound. Gets it out to Addie Smith. Again, I think we just make sure we're taking great shots. Addie gets all the way to the rim. She's going to get fouled. And she's going to go line for two. Two very different plays right there where Robbins is going to the right, and she kind of just continues to the right and kind of throws it up. And yes, there's probably some contact. The difference here is so Addie just gets it. She's going to go to the rim. So her momentum's going straight to the rim, not away from the rim. And you really put the officials, they've got to make a call there. It looks like Leroy's going to pick up her first foul. Richter's going to check into the game for North Knox. Again, but Addie Smith is kind of using that the senior instinct that she's going to try to get there. And she's either going to get a layup or she's going to get to the free throw line. Offensive rebound there by Starrett. Kicks it back out to Addie Smith. She's going to get it out to Burton. Trying to look inside. Addie gets into the lane. Kicks it over to Trainer. Now top to Robbins. High ball screen. Robbins gets it into Burton. Burton on the scramble finds Starrett. Sterrett, little jumper, and good. Burton ended up falling down. Looked like the ball did get deflected. Knox gets it back to Primus, wide open three, no good, air ball. No rim there. And that's going to be rebounded there by Sterrett. Addie Smith brings it up, looking for that high ball screen. Addie Smith's going to try to get to the rim, kicks to Trainer. Trainer back to Addie Smith. Addie looking to go baseline, gets it over to Burton. Burton looking to drive. She goes left. Hard shot. Kind of throws it up. She's got to take one more dribble. Could be McClure. Finds Yenny for a layup. Misses the layup. Rebounded there by Armas for an easy two. Again, kind of a tough, weird shot. Leads to a layup on the other end. I think we just got to be careful there. Make sure we're taking good shots. I think we're going to be okay. Burton bringing the ball up. She's going to try to get into the lane. Over to Addie Smith. High ball screen. Addie's going to fire for three. And she's going to knock it down. Not typically Addie's shot, but got just a little bit of separation. And she's going to extend this to six. McClure on the wing. Out to Primus. Eastern going to a 2-3 zone right now. Gets the ball into Armas. And she's going to get taken away. It looks like it got deflected by Sterrett. And then Addie Smith's going to... He's going to be open, same spot for three, no good. It's going to be Sterrett on the rebound, and they're going to get Armas for a foul there. Again, Sterrett just creating all kinds of havoc on the board. Looks like Avery Smith's going to check in, Leroy going to check in, and then Horner's going to check in as well. Eastern with a 6-point advantage, 4:35 to play. Ball inbounds to Burton right in the middle of the lane. Burton going strong. They're going to get a jump ball. Kind of an odd call. Primus with great defense right there. It looked like a block. It looked like it came out of her hand, so I'm kind of surprised it's a jump ball. It looks like it's just kind of a play on. Robbins gets it in. Robbins almost throws it away. Ends up in the hands of Avery Smith in the backcourt. Avery going up against Primus. Ball got deflected in the hands of Horner. Horner finds Robbins, being guarded by Leroy. Robbins picks it up. She's got to be careful there. Gets it over to Trainer. Again, I think we just got to be a little more decisive in our decisions. Right now we're kind of waiting too long. Robbins is going to try to get into the paint. She gets nice job. She's going to get it poked away. North Knox coach absolutely did not like that call. I couldn't tell it was on the other side of the play from where I'm sitting. Robbins had kind of left-hand layup. I think if she takes one more dribble and kind of just plants her feet, she's going to be able to get an easy two. Eastern's going to get the ball back, gets it into Burton. Out top. High ball screen from Avery Smith. Burton's going to go to Horner. Horner out to Robbins. Robbins going to bring it back out, gets it into Burton on the inside. Triple team there. That's going to end up being a jump ball. Again, we've got to recognize that triple team. Somebody is open. Like in that particular case, Bailey Trainer's wide open on the other side. I think we just got to be strong. Got to be a little nervous. I know playing at this level is not something that any of these girls have experienced. So can we just kind of settle those nerves? 3:30 to play. Eastern with a 6-point advantage. Going to be Yenny up on, gets the ball in the middle to Richter. Richter back out to Yenny. Yenny over to McClure. It's going to be stolen there by Avery Smith. Avery looking to run, finds Trainer. Trainer back to Horner. Horner's going to fire for three. Get in there. And that rolls around and good. Kind of rolled off the rim, off the backboard, and through. Eastern takes a 9-point advantage. McClure on the wing. Kicks over to Yenny. Leroy's going to fire for three. Rebounded there by Horner. Again, sure Coach Drury saying, slow down. Make sure we're getting good shots. Robbins bringing it up, being guarded there by Leroy. Hand off to Horner. Horner over Avery Smith. Avery's going to hand off there to Robbins. Again, we got to be careful on that handoff. They're kind of jumping that one. Horner going up against the McClure. And she's going to get a foul there. They try to trap that one. There's going to try to be a handoff. They're going to get number one, Leroy, for a foul. Picks up her second. No, I like that's her third. That could be huge in this game. Starting point guard picking up her third with 2:30 left to play in this quarter. Addie Smith going to check back in, gets it into Honor. Honor back to Addie Smith. Ball screen there by Burton. Over to Trainer. Out top to Burton. Burton looking to go one-on-one against Armas. Goes left and puts it in. Nice move there by Sydney Burton. Nice left hand. Again, I think that's got to be our go-to. Can we get the ball inside? As McClure kicks it across to Yenny. Yenny misses the three. Going to be rebound there by McClure. She finds, and they're going to get, wow. Ball ends up in the hands of Richter. Richter kind of comes across underneath. And I wondered if they didn't get a travel there. They're going to get a foul there on Sydney Burton. And Richter's going to go to the line for one. Eastern with a 9-point advantage just inside of 2 minutes to play. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on 97.9 WSLN.
Progressive presents the Passionate Sports Fan Checklist. Signed jersey of your favorite bench warmer? Check. 14 bobbleheads that look nothing like the players they're emulating? Check. Twin TVs so you can watch the game on 2 different networks simultaneously? Check. Life-size wall sticker of your favorite player that routinely picks you out at night? Check. A second life-size wall sticker, so after the first one picks you out, you see the second, and you're like, oh, right, the wall stickers. Check and mate. Bundle your renters and auto insurance with Progressive and save on protection for the things on your checklist. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations covered subject to policy terms.
And we're back here again at the McNally Center. Again, just such a fantastic game so far. Again, both teams, you can tell just a little bit of nerves, and really both these teams, don't know if either of these teams have got to this level with this particular group. Park Heritage, North Knox, just not cashing in from three. They hit 1 3 in this first half. Just seemed a little short on their threes, and Eastern just several silly turnovers. Again, as we move into the end of this first half and move into the second quarter, can we begin, either team, begin to just make sure we're taking care of the ball? And then, again, who's going to win that rebounding battle? Jade Richter's going to go to the line for her and one. No good. That's going to be rebounded there by Burton. Gets it Addie Smith. Again, Primus going to pick her up full court. Gets it in the corner to Honor. Honor's going to fire for 3. Looks like he got a piece of it. No good. Rebounded there by Armas. He's going to find Primus on the sideline. She's being stopped there by Addie Smith. Great defense there. Eastern in a 2-3 zone. Gets it across to Yenny. Yenny out top to McClure. Trying to set something up. Trying to get the ball there in the middle against this 2-3. Hand off to Yenny out top. Being guarded by Robbins. Over to Primus. Again, Eastern just kind of staying inside that 3-point line. Saying if you're going to pull from 25, that's fine. Ball screen. They're trying to get Primus a shot. Over to Richter. Back to McClure. Over to Yenny. They get the ball inside to Richter. Richter's going to fire from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded there by Sydney Burton. Again, Eastern's got to be happy with that possession. Just inside a minute to play, 56 seconds. Addie Smith working against the ball screen. Over to Honor. Out to Burton. Burton looking to see if she can't go one-on-one. But being guarded there by Armas. Burton finally getting the count. Over to Robbins. Again, I think we got to be super careful. Robbins is going to get by her man. No good. Misses the shot. Finds Trainer on offensive rebound. Finds Honor. Honor misses the 3. North Knox did not like that. Thought that Sydney Burton went over the back there. Primus up to McClure. Back out to Primus. Looks like they're going to take the one shot. 10 seconds to play. See if Eastern can't make a stand here. Going to be a flare screen to Primus. Primus going to fire for 3. Opposite side. No good. Rebounded there by Armas. That's going to end up in the hands of Richter. She's going to put it in for 2. And that is going to be the end of the second quarter. It's going to be Eastern on top 27-20. Again, that's going to be halftime. We will be back with a couple commercials. We'll be right back with some thoughts on this first half and some statistics. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLN 97.9.
After years in the making, the new Papa John's pan pizza recipe is ready. Introducing a new pan pizza with edge-to-edge cheese and toppings, a crispy garlic parmesan crust, and 6 cheeses. It's the perfect balance of a soft, fluffy interior dough and a crispy crust. You'll agree, this pan pizza was worth the wait. Order the new pan pizza today from your local Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Du Bois County Tire Fall. Big or small, they serve it all. They have the name brand tires, you know, to keep it cruising on down the road. They got tires for driving me. They even got them for your farm machine. You can call them day or night. Du Bois County Tires does it right. Big or small, we serve it all. Du Bois County Tires.
See your Michelin dealer today for the Michelin Defender tire. It's the tire to deliver what you want. Outstanding safety, more miles and fuel efficiency, all backed by an 80,000-mile limited warranty. Don't sacrifice. Ask for the Michelin Defender tire today at your local Michelin dealer. Find the right Michelin tire and get the expert service you deserve at Du Bois County Tire and Supply in Jasper, Davis County Tire and Supply in Washington, and Knox County Tire and Supply in Vincent. See manufacturer's limited warranty book for details.
Always serve it all. Du Bois County Tire.
And we're back here at the McNally Center in Greencastle, Indiana. This is the South 2A Semi-State. In the first game today at 10 o'clock, Park Heritage upset Heritage Christian with a score of 46-37. And that will be who these teams will face in tonight's game. Tonight's game will be at 8 o'clock. I think the doors will open at 7. I know it's quite a drive for our Eastern fans, 2 hours. But, man, if you can come out and we can pull this one out, 2 hours would be worth it to come out and support these girls. Again, anytime we can support our communities, I think probably a third of Pekin is here. Again, we got just a fantastic crowd. But North Knox, they brought everybody a little closer. They about an hour away, a little closer. Got a little bit bigger cheer box, but I think crowds are probably pretty even for us. Again, two very, very similar quarters. I think not expecting you think North Knox is going to go through their guards. And it's been their two post players cleaning up the boards. That's been the difference of the game. Jade Richter leading it with 10 points in this first half. It really, I think two of them were miscommunication on an out-of-bounds play. One of them was an offensive rebound. Another one was an offensive rebound, and then somebody passed to her. So just cleaning up the mess underneath for an easy 10 points. And then Armis coming into that second quarter adds 5. Your two leading scorers are not your two leading scorers on this team, which is an interesting fact for North Knox. Grimace only got really a couple clean looks. A really nice job there defensively by Addie Smith and really making her work. A couple times she did get by her. We were able to wall up by her secondary a little bit. Grimace has not been able to get going. Again, you look to see if she's going to get going in the second half. And then Leroy picking up that third foul, just huge. She kind of went to the bench just having another guard, other ball handler, forcing North Knox to play that 7th and 8th player, gets them out of the routine a little bit, and somebody else got to step up. For the Musketeers, led by our two players you would have expected. Sydney Burton with 10, and Addie Smith with 9. Hunter chipped in 3, Avery Smith with 3, then Elijah Starrett chipped in 2. Definitely want to credit Starrett coming in and really making a difference on the glass. Both sides of the floor just continue to make North Knox have to work for every board. She pulled off a couple, and she's one of those. She may not get every rebound, but man, she's going to make it tough for whoever does. She gets a lot of tip rebounds, and oftentimes she takes out the player that probably would have got the rebound. So again, I am joined again by Rodney Lopez from the Vincent Sun Commercial. I know you got some stats for us. Let's see what you got, Rodney.
You ran through the scoring already. Individually rebounding, Burton leading the way. I've got her for 7 boards already. Sarah's got 5. To me, that's kind of the biggest thing right now. She's got an 18 to 13 edge on the boards. Arms has 4 off the bench for North Knox to lead them in rebounding. Turnover is probably the one thing the East hasn't done great. They did a better job in the second quarter, though. I had them 4 turnovers in the first quarter, only 2 in the second quarter, so 6 overall. North Knox has just 3 turnovers. That's one thing that they're doing well. But I'll tell you what, Eastern defense is really seemed to take North Knox out of sync. I don't know if you noticed earlier, but it seemed to me like the game plan for North Knox was for McClure to drive to the basket, try to get fouls. North Knox is a really good free throw shooting team. That was something I didn't mention earlier. They're a good foul shooting team, but obviously, you know, the physical play, the referees are letting them get away with it. And not that there should have been a foul call. Well, they did good game of the play. McClure specifically, there was one, I definitely thought she got fouled, but there was another one, she kind of spun, and she just spun into a wall. Yeah. And I think she was like, oh, what just happened? You know, you saw kind of the same thing. You know, Addie Smith able to get by and get to the line a couple times. You had Robbins kind of avoiding the contact, and the refs just aren't going to give her that call. You know, so I feel like it's been pretty consistent in this half. But again, I just felt like, again, I think turnovers, I was going to mention that. Eastern seemed a little, especially in that second quarter, just seemed just a little out of sorts, you know, and just uncomfortable. Whereas North Knox they're not getting the ball off out of their hands quickly. Yeah. You know, they're shooting, you know, a couple shots, one over the rebound, over the board, one off the side of the back. You know, you got to attribute that to Eastern defense. Yeah. Something a little different you've seen in the tournament out of Eastern is even in that zone, they're kind of just staying inside the 3-point line. You know, throughout this year, we've done some extended. They've done that 1-2-2. They've done a 1-3. They've done all kinds of stuff. But tonight they're saying, hey, we're going to stay back and make sure that we're going to let you drive. Clearly, knowing that McClure and Grimace are going to be able to they're going to try to get to the rim. And kind of taking that away, you had both players step up and kind of clean up the mess. So again, back to that rebounding. I was kind of surprised. I kind of was thinking it was going to be pretty neutral on the board. You got us down for up 5 on the glass. Definitely difference in the game, but some of our offensive rebounds haven't led to point. Right. Yeah. For North Knox, I know at least 4 of them led straight to point. You know, so 8 second chance points out of 20. That's a big difference in the ball game. Anything else stick out? I'm just interested to see what North Knox does if he stays in the zone. Because everyone on North Knox, other than Arms, every one of them is capable of shooting threes, but they're pretty streaky. And sometimes I know Coach Gary, he gets worried that they settle for threes too much. Right. And if they make a couple, they may start settling. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack it. And also, it needs to switch up the defense to see what that's going on by day. But for each, that's it. We've kind of been freaky. We've had games where we've had 8, 9, 10 threes, and we've had games where we've had 2. You know? Yeah. It's rare that we don't get a 3 or 2 in a game. But one thing that's been very different in tournament play this year is that they've been a little less reliant on 3. I think in the regional, I had them down for 3 of 17, but Burke stepped up for 20, you know, and really saw that at times today that we were definitely trying to get to the rim. That's probably where we are our strongest, is just groups getting the rim. And to be fair, we got several girls that can get to the rim. It looked like, I kind of felt like they were trying to pick on, earlier in the game, they were trying to pick on Richter a little bit. And then when Armas came in, it seemed like they were trying to attack Armas, whoever was guarding her. I don't know if that's a great strategy or not, but clearly that was a game plan. And that's what we're going to try to see that. And Avery's not typically our primary ball handler, but several times he's like, hey, I've got the match for the one. I'm going to get to the rim. I do think that's a good matchup against North Knox, because what I've noticed in the first time, and they've done this lots of seasons, they switch almost everything. Right. And Arms is the one player on their team that probably isn't suited to handle the guard. So I'm sure once she gets matched up on the correct player, he's going to attack it. And really on our team, outside of Sterick, they're all guards. Yeah. Burton is considered a post player, but she handles the ball pretty well. I did feel like, especially in that second quarter, they did a nice job of slamming down on her. There was one time she had one-on-1, and now she got 1-on-3. And they tripled her quick, got a jump ball, we got a turnover. Clearly that's something that they decided they were going to adjust. And really, because they really didn't double anything in that first quarter. They were going to play straight up and see kind of what happened. So that's going to be, we're going to be ready to go in about 20 seconds here. Eastern with a 7-point advantage going into the third quarter. It looks like Eastern is going to go back with their starters. And it looks like North Knox, I've got the same starters in there as well. Going back with that starter now. He's going to start with the basketball. Rodney, you're more than welcome to join, or you jump off either one, whatever works for you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and hop off it for a minute, but I may come back on if there's something noteworthy happens.
Awesome. Sounds good. Avery Smith out top. Gets over to Addie Smith. Ball poked away there by Primus. Addie's going to get it back. Finds Honor on the wing. Honor's going to drive baseline. She's going to get the rim. Blocked there by Primus. Avery Smith on the rebound finds Addie. Addie's going to try to finds Honor, kick for three, no good. And that's going to be rebounded there by Richter. Richter gets it. Coach North Knox wanted a foul there. That's going to be Yenny gets it into Richter. She's going to spin back to the left, no good. Rebounded there by McClure, and she's going to get fouled. That's going to be foul on Sydney Burton, her second, and that's going to send McClure to the line for two. Again, we get them to miss the shot. Takes a tough shot. Richter takes a tough shot. Not able to get that, control that board. Of course, first free throw is good. Now, Rodney said that this was a very good free throw shooting team. Could that be a difference here in this second half? Eastern with a 6-point advantage. Again, Bailey McClure at the line for her second free throw, and that one is also good. Scoring her 4 points of the game. Eastern, Addie Smith up to Honor in the corner. Honor to Burton underneath. Burton pulls away off the glass and good. Again, that sideline break's been effective for Eastern. As Primus gets it to McClure, poked away there by Addie Smith. Ends up in the hands of Sydney Burton with the steal. Addie coming the other way. Addie's going to try to get in the right side. Hand off to Robbins. Robbins into Burton. Oh, man, she gambled right there and misses a layup. Richter gambled kind of there. Burton had a wide open look. Not able to cash in. Primus going down the left side. Good help there by Avery Smith. Over to Yenny. Yenny's going to find Leroy for three. No good. Addie Smith on the rebound. Addie being guarded there by Primus. Over to Avery Smith being guarded by Leroy. Remember, Leroy's got 3 fouls. Out top to Robbins. Robbins gets stripped there by Yenny and just takes it away from her. Yenny going the other way. Gets it up to McClure. Finds Leroy on the other side for a wide open layup. Robbins has got to be more careful here. She cannot just be lackadaisical with the ball. Addie Smith gets it over Avery Smith. Good defense there by Primus. Avery hand off to Honor. Honor over to Robbins. Robbins going down the right side. And they're going to get an offensive foul there on Bailey Robbins for the hook. And Strainer's going to check into the game for Robbins. Eastern fans did not like that call. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-point ball game. 29-24, 5:45 to play. Eastern in a 1-2-2 zone right now, kind of half-court trap. Up to Yenny. There to Leroy. Gets it into Richter. Richter's going to lay it in for two. Again, Richter, kind of the bread and butter here. And Eastern is going to call timeout. North Knox has stormed back on a 6-2 run here to start the third quarter. Eastern's going to call timeout. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll stay right here. I imagine they're going to switch that defense. If they're going to stay in that 1-2-2 or stay in that zone, we've got to make sure that interior pass is just not so easy. Rick, if you're going to choose your poison and you're saying, hey, we're going to pick Richter over Primus, that's fine. But we can't just give her an open look. On the other end, we got to take care of the basketball. We got to take care of it. So in 2.5 minutes, we got 3 turnovers. So we got a missed block out. That's tough. At this level, these type of games, man, it just those are hard to overcome. 5.5 minutes to play. Eastern on top by 3. North Knox going to go full man-to-man press. Avery gets it into Addie Smith. Addie being guarded by Primus. They're being trapped there by Leroy. Addie gets it up to Honor. Honor thought about going baseline. Back out to Addie. Addie Smith over to Burton. Burton's going to try to go one-on-one, and she's going to cough it up. Stolen by Yenny. Yenny's looking to run. Tipped away by Trainer. Going to find McClure. She's going to go back to Richter. Going to be out of bounds. Back to North Knox. Coach Drury wanted the call. Thought that it went out off of White. Eastern playing in the black uniforms. North Knox in the white and red uniforms. Again, Richter left wide open underneath, not besides the Leroy. Out top to, it's going to be Yenny. Finds McClure. McClure gets the lane, left-handed. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded there by Burton. North Knox did not like the no call there. Eastern's got to get something going. Double high ball screen there for Addie Smith. Up top to Burton. Again, Eastern kind of a little passive right now. Avery Smith's going to try to drives baseline. He's going to get trapped, and that's going to be stolen away. Yenny going the other way, tries to find McClure, throws it over top. Back to Yenny. Kind of a crazy back to Leroy for three, no good. Rebounded there by Addie Smith. And Eastern's not being very aggressive offensive right now. Addie over to Honor. Honor thought about a three. Out top to Trainer. Back to Honor. Honor, goodness gracious. Again, it looks like she's going to almost had her pocket picked there by McClure. Again, we've got to be strong with the ball. Maybe some contact right there, but Eastern fans did not like that one. It's going to be a turnover on the jump ball. North Knox basketball. Yenny out top. Eastern looking to trap it if they can. Gets it to McClure. Finds Primus in the corner for three. No good. Rebounded there by Trainer. Trainer looking to run. Hands off to Honor. Out to Avery. Over to Addie. Addie looking to get in the lane. She's going to drive. Puts it up. No good. Rebounded there by McClure. He's going to find Primus. Looking to run. Primus gets into the lane. They're going to get a foul there on Sydney Burton. That's Sydney Burton's third foul. That's a tough one. That's a tough one there for the Musketeers. And North Knox is going to call a timeout. Eastern with a 3-point advantage, 3:29 to play. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on 97.9 WSLM.
After years in the making, the new Papa John
Sullivan Feed Mill is proud to support the Eastern Lady Musketeers. Come see Junior and Yvonne for all your feed and fence needs in downtown Pekin. They have everything to get you ready for the spring season. Stop in today in downtown Pekin and see Junior and Yvonne at Sullivan Feed Mill, or call 812-967-3472, or find them on Facebook. Same family, same location, serving Southern Indiana since 1942. Go Lady Musketeers.
And we're back here at Greencastle, Indiana. Lady Musketeers on top by three right now, 29-26 with 3:29 to play in the third quarter. Again, a low-scoring third quarter right now. North Knox inbound, gets it into Primus, back to McClure. Thought she traveled. McClure pulled up, 15-footer, no good. Rebounded there by Trainer. Trainer gets it across the timeline. North Knox in a man-to-man. Addie Smith, high ball screen. He's going to fire for three. No good. Rebounded there by Armas. And that's going to be Avery Smith tying up a jump ball, and that's going to be Eastern basketball. We've had a couple of those on both ends here where just the rebounder gets jammed. Eastern gets the ball into Avery Smith. Avery ball screen. She's going to get called for a travel there. That was the right call. It's just unfortunate. Derek goes check in for the Musketeers. Again, it's out of source. Eastern with 2 points in this quarter. 5 minutes into this quarter. Eastern going back to a 2-3 zone right now. But she saw a good chunk of the first half. On the wing to Yenny. Now top to Primus. Over to McClure. Throws it to Yenny. Avery almost had a steal. No good for the three there. Rebounded there by Addie Smith. Finds Trainer. Trainer for three. No good. Rebounded by Avery. Avery's going to get fouled there. Great hustle there by Avery Smith. North Knox, that's going to be on number 12, Bailey McClure. I think it's just her first. Great hustle by Avery, keeping that play alive. Trainer was kind of her first good look at it. Ball inbound to Avery. Avery double team. She's going to get it to Trainer. Trainer going to get knocked down. Gets it to Burton. Burton finds Starrett on, and Starrett's going to put it up. She's going to get fouled. Good recognition there by Sydney Burton. Just kind of a scramble play. You get 3 or 4 players on the floor. Avery double team, end up on the ground, kind of tips it away. Trainer ends up on the ground. McClure ends up on the ground. It ends up in the hands of Burton, and in that rotation, she finds Starrett underneath. Starrett's going to go to the line for 2. Starrett's first one is no good. Now, Leroy's going to check back into the game. I think I've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time. I'm so sorry. Starrett's second free throw is no good, and it does not hit rim. And that's North Knox. Still with a down by 3, just over 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Eastern in that 2-3. That's going to be Primus out top. High ball screen. She's going to kick over to Yenny. Yenny gets it into Richter. Richter on the baseline. Tries to drive baseline. Ball around, finds Primus. Primus going to get to the rim. And that's going to be no good, but they are going to get a foul. Primus is going to go line for 2. Fouls on 40. That's going to be Eliza Starrett. That is her third. Primus' first free throw is no good. In just a 6-2 quarter here so far. A little bit low scoring affair. Neither team able to get anything going. Primus' second one is good. Just her 4th point of the game. North Knox going to call off their press. He's going to pick them up man-to-man half court. Addie Smith bringing the ball up. Being guarded by Primus. Over to Avery Smith. Now top to Burton. Over to Addie finds her sister inside. Avery's going to drive baseline, put it up, no good. They're going to get a foul there on Derek. He's going to pick up her 4th. And that is, more importantly, that's going to be the 5th foul of the quarter. So that's going to send Armas to the line for 2. Eliza didn't like that. Again, I think Avery had the drive. I think she's just got to take one more step. She's just a little too deep. One more step, and she's going to have a nice little reverse layup, or just turn around and force some contact. Armas is going to try to tie up the game. First one is good, and North Knox has cut this to 1. Honor going to check in for the Musketeers. Looks like McClure is going to check back in for North Knox if she makes this free throw. And that's no good. Avery Smith on the rebound. 1-point game. Minute 32 to play. High ball screen there for Addie Smith. Addie finds Burton. Burton spins back to left hand, puts it up and good. Sydney is having a fantastic game. That's her 14th point of the game. Richter finds Armas. Armas over to Yenny. Yenny trying to find Primus. Eastern going back to man-to-man to finish the game. 1 minute left. Primus on the switch, throws it up, no good. Rebounded there by Armas, put back, no good. Rebounded by Avery Smith. In 50 seconds to play, Addie Smith being guarded by Primus. Not to Avery Smith. I imagine they're going to try to play for one shot here if they can. Avery back to Addie Smith. Over to Burton. I think they're just seeing where they can spend some time. 30 seconds to play. Burton being guarded by Armas. And North Knox coach says just stay back there. They'll let him just take the last shot. And I think Coach Drew is going to be fine with just taking one shot here. 20 seconds to play. North Knox in a man-to-man. Armas guarding Sydney Burton. See what we got. 10 seconds to play. Addie Smith. High ball screen. Addie Smith's going to get to the rim. loses it. It ends up in the hands of Yenny. Yenny's going to throw it, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. Eastern on top, 31-28. An 8-4 quarter for the North Knox Warriors. We're going to cut the commercial break, and we will be right back with fourth quarter. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLM 97.9.
Primary election is coming up on Tuesday, May 5th, and before early voting in April begins, WSLM is hosting its Spring Political Forum on April 6th, beginning at 6 p.m. at the Washington County Courthouse Meeting Room. WSLM wants you to hear the contested candidates in their own words. Attorney Alex Uli will be the moderator and will be asking candidates to introduce themselves, and then they will be asked questions about their experience and thoughts on the office they are seeking. The program will air live on WSLM Radio, as well as live streamed on WSLM's Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter social media platforms. You're trying to reach a decision in the 2026 primary election. Feel free to go back and listen to hear exactly what your candidate has to say. WSLM is celebrating 75 years of keeping Kentuckiana informed.
And we're back here, 2A South Semi-State from the McNally Center, Greencastle High School. The Lady Musketeers on top, 31-28 over the North Knox Warriors. Been just a fantastic contest so far. North Knox is going to start with the basketball. We'll see who's going to punch their ticket to play Park Heritage tonight in the semi-state championship. Ball on the wing to Leroy. Now top the premise. Eastern in the 2-3 zone this time. Tipped there by Bailey Trainer. Almost had a steal. On the wing to McClure. Score back out the premise. Again, Eastern playing several different defenses. On the wing to Leroy. Back out the premise. Premise trying to get a lane. McClure trying to find Leroy. And hits it in the ball in the middle to Richter. Richter fires. Still 10-footer and good. Richter has been their lifeline this whole game. Maddie Smith being guarded there by Premise. Maddie gets it to Burton. Burton being guarded there by Armis. Burton going to try to go down the right side. Tough shot, no good. Rebounded there by Avery Smith. Ends up in the hands of Armis. And McClure looking to run. Finds Armis. Armis throws it away. Bailey Trainer with the steal. And she's going to get called for a carry. I think that definitely was the right call, but it's one of those, we don't have numbers. We just got to grab the ball, take care of it. This is time of possession. You got a 1-point advantage. Just got to be careful. Eastern look in that 2-3. Out top the premise. North Knox able to looking to take their first lead of the game. North Knox gets it into. Oh wow! Wow! They're going to get the ball into Richter. She's going to put it in and go for an and one. I absolutely cannot believe the call there on Avery Smith. That was a very, very, very weak call. I do not think that wow. Richter's kind of fading away from the basket. And I guess the official's saying that Avery pushed her away from the basket. North Knox takes their first lead, maybe early in the game. Richter going to the line, and she's going to cash in. North Knox with a 2-point advantage. Going back to the press. On her on the sideline. Picks it up. She's got to be careful not to pick up her dribble there. Patty finds Avery Smith, finds Burton. Oh, wow. They're going to call Burton for travel. It looks like the ball got knocked out of her hand. Wow, Eastern fans did not like that call. It looks like she got the ball knocked out of her hands. They're going to call her for travel. Eastern down by 2 now. Different story. They get the ball into Richter. Nice pass there by Premise. But Eastern is going to call a timeout. North Knox takes a 4-point advantage. We'll go to a commercial break. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLM
If you're living with back or neck pain, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. But Expert Relief is closer than you think. Schneck now offers 2 specialized practices for spine care, Schneck Neurosurgery and Schneck Orthopedic Spine, giving you access to a full spectrum of advanced treatment options right here at home. We're proud to highlight Dr. Matthew Stanfield, a highly skilled neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience and leader of Schneck Neurosurgery, renowned for his expertise in treating complex spinal conditions. Schneck's Spine Care program proudly welcomes Dr. Kenneth McKinley, a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon with over a decade of experience, who now leads Schneck Orthopedic Spine. Together, these 2 practices bring you comprehensive spine care, from advanced imaging and non-surgical therapies to expert surgical solutions, all tailored to your unique needs. And because it's Schneck, you'll receive compassionate, high-quality care without having to travel far. Visit schneckmed.org to learn more. Schneck Orthopedic Spine and Schneck Neurosurgery. Expert spine care close to home.
And we're back here at Greencastle High School. North Knox starting on a 7-0 run to start this. 2 very questionable calls. One I might have agreed with. The other one was just it's bad. Both of them going against the Lady Musketeers. North Knox picking up their pressure, and they're going to get a foul in the press against Primus. Wow. Primus guarding Addie Smith, done just a fantastic job defending her. That was minimal contact at best. Addie gets it into Avery Smith. Avery looking to drive against Richter. There to Burton. Now top to Trainer. Trainer to Avery Smith. Avery's going to try to get in the lane. Kicks to Honor. Honor for 3. No good. Rebound Burton. She's going to put it back up and in. Again, offensive first points in the 4th quarter for the Lady Musketeers. Cuts this to a 2-point game. Eastern switching to a man-to-man. Primus out top. High ball screen there. And Primus is able to go right by the defender. And they're going to get, looks like Burton's going to pick up her 4th. Burton's going to pick up her 4th. That could just be a crucial blow for the Lady Musketeers. We definitely need her. Yenny going to check into the game for Armas for North Knox. They're going to say that foul was on the floor. Little fake deep, and then it gets right back inside. Yenny out top. Over to Leroy. Leroy over to Primus. Being guarded there by Addie Smith. Primus down the right side. Kicks it out to McClure. McClure being guarded by Avery Smith. Trying to go back left. Kicks it to Richter. Blocked there by Katie Honor. Honor's going to go down the right side. And it's going to be good for an and 1. Tough play there. That's going to be a foul on 15. Caroline Yenny. What a play there by Katie Honor. It kind of looked like, what's she going to do? Didn't really have numbers, maybe a 1-on-2, but Yenny stayed on her. And Eastern ties up the basketball game. Honor's going to go to the line. Honor, a 60% free throw shooter. No good. Rebounded there by Yenny. 5-ball game, 35-35. Going to be Primus out top. Eastern again to that man-to-man. Kicks over to Yenny. Yenny pokes away. They're going to get a foul on Avery Smith. Wow. Could have been a jump ball. That's going to be Avery's 4th. Eastern with some foul trouble. Burton with 4, Avery Smith with 4, and Sterrett with 4. And Coach Drury's going to elect to put in Bailey Robbins. North Knox going to inbound underneath their basket. Trying to get the ball in there, too. And looks like McClure's just going to throw it off the defender, off of Robbins right there. .4:29 to play. All tied up here. Ball gets it back to McClure. She's going to drive it to the baseline and gets it to Richter. Richter throws it up. No good. Rebounded there by Sterrett. going to get a foul there. I assume it's on McClure. McClure just her second foul. He had two different officials report the foul. One of them came to the table once, and then the other one came again. Looks like North Knox is going to press one to kind of keep a person on Addie Smith. Robbins bringing the ball up, being guarded by Leroy. Gets it over to Trainer. High ball screen there. Hand off to Honor. Honor trying to get into the lane. Thought she had the high-low there. It's going to be Honor there. A lot of contact there. Over to Addie Smith. Addie looking to drive. Gets by. Nice move there. And, oh, man, that needed to fall. Nice move there by Addie Smith. Kind of using that screen there by Sterrett. That's going to be 41 Richter. Just her second. Addie Smith's going to go to the line for two. Man, that could have been big just to get a three-point play here. Addie Smith, 73% free throw shooter. Cashing in the first one. Her 10th point of the game. Eastern takes a 1-point advantage. 3:51 to play. Second one is up and good. And Primus is going to bring it up for the North Knox Warriors. Again, Eastern in that man-to-man. High ball screen here for Primus, going to fire for three, and good. Again, just her second three of the game. Got to make sure that we got that hedge up there on that ball screen. Addie Smith over to Trainer. Trainer off the ball screen. Finds Sterrett. Sterrett tries to muscle it up. And they're going to get a foul on Sterrett. I think that's going to be her fifth. Sterrett might have got some contact there. That's going to be Sterrett's fifth foul. She is going to be out of the game. And it looks like Sydney Burton and Avery Smith going to check back in. 3:21 to play. Eastern down by one. There to Premises three there. And Eliza Sterrett has checked out. Or has fouled out of this contest. 38-37. North Knox on top by one. Eastern going to switch to a 1-2-2, or they're going to see if they can't try to make Primus give it up. Primus gets deflected there by Addie Smith, stolen by Trainer. She gets it back to Addie Smith. And Coach Brewery is going to call timeout. That whistle kind of came from the other side. And that's going to be a full timeout. We are going to come right back. This is Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLM 97.9.
When it comes to getting the job done right, from driveways to bridge work and paving to construction and excavating, there's one name you can count on: Temple & Temple Excavating. Serving homeowners and also handling big jobs for city, county, and state highway projects, they've built a reputation on quality work since 1948. Driveways, construction, demolition. If you need it moved, cleared, built, or torn down, call Temple & Temple Excavating at 812-883-6644. Temple & Temple have been supporting Washington County for 77 years, one project at a time. Call Temple & Temple today at 812-883-6644 or find them online at templeandtemple.com, where you can also apply for job opportunities.
And we're back here at Greencastle High School, the 2A South Semi-State. Eastern down by one, 37-38. Going to inbound the basketball. 3:07 to play here in this fourth quarter. Again, what a ball game between these two teams. Both just laying everything on the line. Addie Smith's going to inbound. Make sure we get the ball inbound. Tries to find Avery. Wild pass. Avery puts it up and good. What a weird pass there. Avery able to go get it. Eastern takes a 1-point advantage. Eastern going back to a man-to-man. They kind of just keep switching it back up. Primus out top. Hands off to Leroy. Leroy being guarded there by Honor. Over to McClure. I think they're going to see if they can't attack Avery or Sydney, both with 4 fouls. Hand off to Premise. Premise throws it up and good. Enough shot. Burton was kind of a wall there. And North Knox takes a 1-point advantage. Burton going to go to the rim, finds Horner. Horner for three, no good. And that's going to be rebounded there by Premise. Again, had a good look there. Eastern going to that trap. And North Knox is going to call a timeout. That is going to be a full timeout, 2:11 to play. We're going to cut the commercial. We'll be right back. Lady Musketeer basketball on WSLN 97.9.
WSLM's Say Yes to the Prom Dress is coming up on Sunday, February 22nd from noon until 2 p.m. at Salem High School. Prom is a rite of passage for many young ladies, and WSLM is offering girls in the Kentuckiana area to come and check out the new and slightly used prom dresses and gowns and take one home with you, free. It's their way of giving back to the community for the past 10 years. Bring your glam squad and stop by Salem High School on Sunday, February 22nd from noon until 2 p.m. And maybe you'll say yes to the prom dress.
And we're back. Again, North Knox with a 1-point advantage, 2:11 to play here. And who is going to punch their ticket tonight to play Park Heritage for the 2A South Semi-State title? Both of these two teams have not played, or Eastern's been in this situation once in 2017. North Knox has not been in this situation to play for a semi-state title. Won several regionals. They've gotten this far. Can they go one step further? North Knox inbounds the ball to Leroy. Leroy being guarded by Horner. Hand off to Premise. Premise being guarded there by Addie Smith. Tries to go down the right side. Inside of 2 minutes. Sure. Left side off the ball screen. Hands off to Yenny. Yenny being guarded there by Trainer. Yenny gets into the lane. Gets it to Richter. Blocked there by Horner. She's had 3 blocks in this game, that none bigger than that one right there. 1:30 to play. Addie Smith out top. Over to Burton. Burton goes right by Richter, and Burton's going to lay it in for 2, and she's going to get a foul called on Richter. I did not see the contact. It's one of those, for me, it's not about the call, it's kind of the disparity of contact. That seemed pretty minimal, but we are definitely going to take the call. Burton's going to go to the line for M1. Sydney Burton able to cash in, and Eastern takes a 2-point advantage. Burton is our leading free throw percentage shooter, 74%. Premise gets the steal and just takes away from her. You wonder if that wasn't going to be Burton's foul, but she's going to come away with the steal. Addie Smith gets by Premise, hands off to Avery Smith. Avery's going to get to the lane, finds Burton. Burton's going to get almost tied up. Coach Drury trying to call a timeout. She is losing her mind. And I think that's going to be their last timeout. A little surprise there. Eastern is going to call timeout. It's just going to be a 30-second timeout. We will stay right here. Eastern is now out of timeouts with a 2-point advantage. North Knox with 2 timeouts left to play. Both teams are going to be as a bonus for the rest of this quarter. What can Eastern do to take care of the basketball? This is one, again, layups and free throws at this point. We don't need any threes. We don't need anything like that. We need clock to run off. How long will the North Knox Lady Warriors, how long will they wait to foul? Again, they really caused a lot of havoc, especially in that third quarter. Not as effective here in this fourth quarter, but you know they're going to come strong with the ball. Again, nothing to lose here. Eastern going to stack the ball. Stacked on the outside. Inbounding right in front of their bench. They get the ball into Addie. Addie being guarded by Premise. Very, very impressed with Premise's defense. Addie gets it over to Horner. Back out to Addie Smith. Oh, goodness. And Premise kind of gets a hand on her, and I think it was just the awkwardness. Premise going to get called for a foul, her third. Coach Drury wanted something further than that because she kind of pushed Addie Smith down, but I think that was some of that was just as Addie was coming, they get tangled up, and her hands definitely put her on the floor. Addie Smith on the line. First one is good. 48 seconds to play. Eastern with a 3-point advantage. Coach Drury telling trainer to get back. The floor is left wide open down on the other end. Addie's able to cash in. Eastern with a 4-point advantage. 45 seconds to play. And they're going to get Grimace with a double dribble. Wow, what a crazy, she came across. I think she was just trying to pick up the ball and lost it and then put it back down. Right call. Eastern with what a turn of events for Lady Musketeers. Addie Smith's going to get fouled on the inbound. Again, that's by Primus. I've got Primus down for her fourth foul. And could be a huge, again, if this was to extend into overtime. Again, we had Liza Sterrett foul out. Avery and Sydney with 4. Addie Smith going to go to the line again, 4-2. First one is good. Addie Smith, a 73% free throw shooter. And North Knox is going to call their timeout. They got one left. That is going to be a full. We're going to cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Eastern Lady Musketeers on top by 5. 43 seconds to play. This is Lady Musketeer basketball. WSLN 97.9.
After a joint surgery, injury, or illness, Meadowview and Salem Crossing are the best choices for helping you recover. Our Moving Forward Rehabilitation Program offers a full range of therapies. We're here to help you return home safely with the skills you need to live life on your own terms. Meadowview and Salem Crossing, 2 great options for your rehabilitation. To learn more, visit asccare.com or call 888-996-8272.
And we're back. What a basketball game. This is everything that you hope for in a high school basketball game. Two teams laying it on the line, giving it all they got. Eastern with a 5-point advantage right now, 43 seconds to play. Again, I think it comes down to can they just take care of the basketball? Can they just take care of the basketball, make their free throws? Again, both teams in the bonus before this last minute. Addie Smith going to go to the line for her second free throw. Again, I think she eclipsed over 100 free throws on the season, which is quite a lot for anybody. But, again, there's a rebound there. I guess I could say that. At least in the third quarter. For the Lady Musketeers, Trainer with 2. She had those 2 huge free throws late in the game. Sydney Burton with a game-high 19. Really kind of consistent. 6 in the first quarter, 4 in the second, 4 in the third, and 5 in the fourth. She did foul out, and you kind of wondered with her and Sterrett fouled out. Avery had 4. Were we going to be able to withstand this North Knox Lady Warrior team? But Burton come out with a game-high 19. Great job by Sydney. Addie Smith with 14. What I had her for, again, I've got her for 10 of 13 from the line. So 9 of 13. 9 of 13 from the line for Addie Smith. 14 points, 9 of them coming from the free throw line. I could be off there. Let's see. Yeah, 9. I've got her 14. 14 points, 9 from the free throw line. That's just huge. Katie Hunter with 5. Had that almost and one there at the end. That was big. And then Avery Smith with just 7 points. But, again, those 2 free throws to help seal the deal late in the game. And then Sterrett just with 2 points. But one of those things that what she does doesn't show up in the box score. She gets a couple rebounds, but, man, she just keeps pressure on the rebounders pretty much nonstop. Again, I'm going to be joined here by Rodney Lopez. Rodney, what kind of stats you got to stick out for you?
Rebounding was a big one. It ended up 35-24 in favor of Eastern. I had Burton with 10, so a double-double for her, 19 and 10. Also, Avery Smith with 8 boards. Sterrett ended up with just 6, but obviously the foul troubles did a number there. The turnovers was big. Obviously, went against Eastern there in the third quarter. I had them for 7 of their 15 turnovers in the game came there in the third quarter. Still maintained the lead, and then went against North Knox there in the fourth quarter. North Knox had 4 of their 9 turnovers there in the fourth quarter, and Eastern took advantage of that, I thought.
That third quarter, man, you just felt the tide turning, and really to start the fourth quarter, I think I had Knox down for a 7-0 run to start the quarter. To all of a sudden now they're up. I think 5 was the biggest they got. Or maybe
4 points, 35-31.
Yeah, 4-point lead.
Yeah.
And really you're like, oh wow, is this gonna come off the rails? Again, I mentioned before, I think Honor had 2 huge defensive blocks right there. And then we got a couple and ones, couple tough calls, really both directions there. But Eastern able to just claw their way back. But at the end of the day, able to get it done from the free throw line. In in that fourth quarter, 10 of 14 from the line in the fourth quarter, and really nothing you could do. If Eastern can't make it free throw line, Knox has got a chance. But if you can make layups and free throws late in the game of this caliber, at this level, with this intensity, you got a chance to win. I will say, if you ever see Lexi again, man, I was so impressed with her defensive pressure. Man, she is the real deal there. Offensively, I felt like we made it tough for her, but you see her start to kind of step up in that fourth quarter. Man, Lipscomb's getting a very good player in Lexi Premise. I was very impressed with her. Anything stick out to you just overall in the game flow?
No, not really. Just some uncharacteristic turnovers there from North Knox, but also you got to give Easton credit there for applying the pressure. As we talked about at halftime, very physical game. It's interesting. In these type of games, it feels like the refs are going to let them play, and then there's a few touch fouls that go against either way. But no, like you said, Easton just got advantage, got the lead there, and North Knox turned it over, and Eastern hit the free throws to seal it. And I was really impressed with both teams. It was a really quality game.
I definitely felt like in that first half, I felt like the officials let them play a little bit. In the second half, they just got a little tighter. There was one call. I think Burton's fifth foul on Premise I thought was really weak. The one foul with Honor down here on the other end was really weak. It was like, okay, come on now. I know it's a semi-state game, and everybody's on edge right now, but come on, let them play through that a little bit. But again, there's a reason these guys are these are the best of the best. They get rated and scored and evaluated, and they're rated, and they do their job to advance. We're getting the best of the best tonight. We'll get the three best out of these two games, and we'll see them again tonight. And again, this is you're getting the best of the best. So definitely not the make it or break it of the game, but again, just what a fantastic contest. Again, my first time in this building, just a really neat environment. They got a dome here. Again, really packed house. Really, for the most part, both teams bringing quite a few fans. Great cheer block. The bands were rocking. Again, just an exciting atmosphere. Really all across the board. Again, Rodney, I appreciate everything you've done and the numbers. I always enjoy talking to you. Again, just been a great. My hat's off to this North Knox team. You hate to be the buzzsaw to their success, but clearly they've had some great success, and really they're losing three? They're losing four seniors.
Yeah.
Tough blow, but you've got some talent in the Yenny girl, and I was impressed with Armis tonight. She just does a nice job, so I'm sure that they're going to be looking to get right back on the horse.
Absolutely.
Tonight. Again, we saw Park Heritage tonight really pull off a huge upset in this morning game against Heritage Christian. Heritage Christian was the favorite. Park Heritage really just kind of stuck it to them, especially late in the game. Park Heritage just absolutely possessing the basketball. Again, not a huge team in Park Heritage. We got one girl at 5'11", the Mathis girl. She got in some foul trouble. They just really couldn't ever get anything going. Again, they're a little different. They've only got one senior on this team, so Park Heritage is going to play a lot. They're a young team. Can this Eastern team that's a little more veteran, can they use that experience to their advantage against a younger Park Heritage team?
I really do like Easton's chances tonight. I have to admit, it surprised me a little bit that Park Heritage knocked out Heritage Christian. I saw Park Heritage last year in the semi-state. They played against South Knox. South Knox obviously was a juggernaut last year, but they just tore through Park Heritage last year. I think they ended up winning that game I think they got a running clock actually.
Right.
But as you said, Park Heritage is younger this year, so they don't have. I guess my point is they don't have that experience of playing in the semi-state. Not all of them anyway.
Correct.
So yeah, I really do like Eastern chances tonight.
But I've told people all week I felt like this was the game we had to get. And I be fair, I thought Knox was the best team in this particular semi-state, and I think we were a close second. Yeah. So able to grind this one out, man, I really like our chances. Not that you want to count your eggs before they hatch or anything like that, but just from what I saw again in that first game, Park Heritage and Heritage Christian, neither just looked super sharp.
Yeah.
Both kind of streaky teams, both kind of went on some runs. Park Heritage just a little bit stronger physically, it looked like, especially in that second half, able to control the ball. They definitely look for those passing lanes. Eastern's going to have to be incredibly careful. I don't know that we can win tonight with 15 turnovers, right? So can we take care of the basketball? Can we get to the free throw line? can our veterans, can they kind of take control of things against, again, a very, very talented team, and punch a ticket to the state final game. I'd be curious to see who comes out of the North. But Eastern getting the first half of the job done in the 2 San State. You also have the weird layover because you've got 6 hours, which is always tough. And the game is at 8:00 tonight. If you are in Pekin and can come out there, hey, come on. If you're even from anywhere around here, if you want to come up and support the Lady Musketeers, they'll play at 8:00 tonight for a chance to play in the state finals next week. Again, it's been since 2017 that Eastern's been this far. Again, my hat's off to Coach Drury. She did a fantastic job getting these girls ready. You wonder kind of how coaches, when you've got the task in front of you with North Knox, but in the back of your mind you've got these 2 other teams. So how much preparation have they put into Park Heritage Christian, really with Heritage being the favorite? So I'm sure that they've got all afternoon to watch film and see what they can do. Can these girls get off their feet and be rested? And as odd as it is, can we kind of just be ready to go tonight? I'm sure they're all going to be ready, and I'm sure they're all going to be super excited to get back in this gym tonight.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for having me. I got to go grab North Knox coach, but I'll talk to you out there.
I appreciate it, Rodney.
We'll see you at the family reunion this summer.
Thank you for everything today. We're going to see if we can't get either one of our seniors up here, or if we can get to Coach Drury up here. Not seeing them right. The second Drury's right there in front of us, but she's being mobbed by certain reporters. I'm sure that she's going to be talked to by pretty much everybody. We're going to cut to one quick commercial break. We will be right back. This is Lady Musketeer Basketball on WSLM.
If you're living with back or neck pain, even the simplest tasks can feel overwhelming. But expert relief is closer than you think. Schneck now offers 2 specialized practices for spine care, Schneck Neurosurgery and Schneck Orthopedic Spine, giving you access to a full spectrum of advanced treatment options right here at home. We're proud to highlight Dr. Matthew Stanfield, a highly skilled neurosurgeon with over 25 years of experience and leader of Schneck Neurosurgery, renowned for his expertise in treating complex spinal conditions. Schneck Spine Care Program proudly welcomes Dr. Kenneth McKinley, a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon with over a decade of experience, who now leads Schneck Orthopedic Spine. Together, these 2 practices bring you comprehensive spine care, from advanced imaging and non-surgical therapies to expert surgical solutions, all tailored to your unique needs. And because it's Schneck, you'll receive compassionate, high-quality care without having to travel far. Visit schneckmed.org to learn more. Schneck Orthopedic Spine and Schneck Neurosurgery, expert spine care, close to home.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
We're here at McDonald's Gymnasium, and we're ready for the starting lineup for tonight's big game. The crowd is on their feet, and they're going wild. The team is coming onto the court. Here comes the quarter pounder with cheese, along with the spicy McCrispy and the McDouble. And starting at center tonight will be the Big Mac. And ready to come into the game at any time is the play of this. Look on the sideline, folks. We have chicken nuggets cheering along with the golden delicious fries. They're hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into McDonald's in Salem, West Maiden, and Mitchell before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink and that one-of-a-kind Mickey D's sweet tea. Or hot or cold coffee drinks from the McCafe. Order inside or drive-through now with the 2 lanes and use the mobile app for great deals. And get your food delivered at home or at the curbside. You can order at halftime and enjoy that one-of-a-kind taste without missing the next play. Set a pick and roll on into McDonald's today. You'll be loving it too. Drive-through open from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. And don't forget to catch WSLM's Coach's Corner live at McDonald's in Salem on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'm loving it.
And we're back here. I am joined by Coach Taylor Drury. First of all, congratulations. for not only you and the girls, but just the whole community. You see, I think half of Beacon's here.
Yeah, gotta be.
My hat's off to you. What did it take to get this job done today?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I mean, I knew either it'd be a bad day for Eastern girls basketball, or it was going to be a grinder that we just have to freaking tough out, and that's exactly what it was. I thought there were times where we did it to ourselves a little bit, getting sped up, probably not taking the best shot possible. And then there are times where North Knox just did a really good job of executing. And I mean, Lexi Primus is a freaking stud.
Right.
I mean, you got to give hats off to that kid. I mean, she's just made big plays when they needed them. But I think what really showed today, despite everything, was the toughness of these kids. I mean, just stop after stop, rebound after rebound, getting on loose balls. And I think that's just what the difference maker was.
I was talking to my cousin covers that area, and so if you'd have told me before the game that you're going to hold Primus to 11 and McClure to 2, I'm like,
God.
we got to win. We got to win.
Know that.
Primus had 11 and McClure just with 2, and Primus only had 3 points in the first half.
Wow.
You just saw, but what happened? It seemed like Richter was able, especially in the first half, and even some of that fourth quarter, clean up the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And she made a couple nice moves, but most of the time it was just the best. She's their leading scorer was 19. The stat that we had rebounded 35 to 24.
Okay.
Up 5.5 on the boards and up 9 on the game in the boards. 15 turnovers. That third quarter, you felt the little nerves, and I couldn't tell if it was nerves or just North Knox kind of making the run. And then the start of that fourth quarter, you're like, okay, girls, settle in. How are you able to kind of get through that lull and get them back on track?
Well, I think too we were dealing with a little foul trouble there, so I felt like the rotation was getting kind of weird, and then there were some things we were trying to accomplish offensively, and then we kept just dribbling the freaking ball all over the freaking court for some reason. So it was, and I do think it was a little bit nerves. North Knox got up and pressured us a lot, but I just these kids know what to do.
Right.
They just just like everybody else. I mean, I get freaking amped up over there on the sidelines, so I mean, I got to give them a little bit of grace too when they get a little, so.
Well, the one thing I was probably most impressed with Primus was her defense. Man,
yes.
She made Addie have to work for it, and you saw late in the game, it was like, well, we'll just have somebody else take care of the ball and kind of take that threat out. And kind of worked. Avery handled the ball more tonight than she probably has in the last month.
Yes.
And really kind of stepped up. Obviously, it didn't show up in the stat book and everything. We've got Sydney for a double-double with 10 boards. Addie had almost had a double-double with 8 boards. Sarah was 6. There's 2 things that stuck out to me in that first half. When Eliza came into the game, she just kind of took over. And if she doesn't get the board, she prevents somebody from getting the board. And that physical play, I mean, just really wasn't as effective in the second half, but especially in that second quarter, Eliza was just huge. Late in that game, Honer had 2 back-to-back blocks, one on Richter and one on Armas that I thought were just huge defensive plays. This team is it's so interesting to me that we needed all 8. Obviously Sydney and Addie lead us in scoring. It's pretty much every night, and they're kind of leading us, and everybody else is kind of chipping in. But tonight, without those 2 plays from Honer, all of a sudden their 4-point lead maybe comes 6, 8. In that first half, we're able to kind of withstand an attack, partly because it's there to kind of take care of business. What does it say to really, it was everybody. It was everybody. Trainer hits those 2 big free throws late in the game. Real quiet. She had 1 look early in the game, but able to knock down those free throws. Avery struggled from the line most of the year. Knocks in 2 there at the end and puts them in. And I love it. She just smiles when she makes them. What does it say to just kind of have kind of that complete package on your team?
I do feel like obviously Sydney and Addie are going to be a big focal point for other teams looking at us. But I feel very confident because I do think we have a lot of other kids that are just going to step up and make plays when we need them to.
Right.
Katie Honer is going to end up being probably the leader, the career leader in blocks at the school. So, I mean, and those are 2 big ones that I'd like to highlight somewhere along the way.
Right.
Because those 2, I mean, and then Trainer just soft and steady.
Right.
Soft and steady, just going to do exactly what I need her to do. And Eliza knows her job.
Right.
Eliza knows her job, and especially in that first half when they let her get in there and do her job. I mean, that's when she's most effective. So, I can't say enough about them.
We had a moment there in the end where Burton had 4, Avery had 4, Sarah had 4, and I'm getting nervous up here.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh man, we need all of those.
Yeah.
You know, able to get through that and kind of withstand. Obviously, Sarah fouled out, Burton ended up fouling out. Maybe the weakest call of the game for me, but we won't. They did back it up. The foul on the Hunter, or the Hunters played out here pretty weak as well. But
we'll take it. We'll take it.
We'll take it. So again, you guys got to prepare. You know, I know that you've seen a little bit of Park Heritage. I really expect Heritage Christian to be the one to come out of this morning game. Park Heritage, a physical team, guards kind of stocky, thick, strong, not super quick. You know, what else can you tell me about Park Heritage as you get ready tonight?
Well, I've done a lot of North Knox this week and a little bit of Heritage Christian and a little bit of Park Heritage. Right. They play a zone, and they match up pretty well out of it. They move well out of it, and then they do have some stockier, thicker girls, strong girls in there that, you know, probably going to clog it up for us and not allow us. You know, we like to penetrate, we like to kick, we like to dump it down to our post. So I'm looking for them to try to use that zone effectively against that. And then offensively, they look pretty balanced on paper. I think their leading scorer averages 11.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, pretty balanced on paper. So we're going to have to be really disciplined again to make sure that we check everybody out. You know, and I worry we're a little bit under muscled. Hopefully we can you know, clean up the glass, because that's been a really big emphasis for us and probably led us to a lot of these wins. So.
Yeah, again, North Knox, really all 4 teams down here are very balanced. You know, they've got 11, 9, 7, 8. You know, so you know, just a balanced attack for this team. I know you guys are going to get ready. It's that mix of you want to celebrate, but then you got to rest. You got to prepare. Coaches have got to go find a room somewhere and watch film. You know, and be ready to go tonight. Again, I wish you best of luck. Again, Final Four.
Yeah,
Final Four.
I know.
One last question to get off here. You played in the state championship and won as a player. Now you're in the Final Four as a coach. What's the biggest difference in the feeling there?
I'm hoping those girls feel like they don't have to worry about anything like I was feeling like I didn't have a care in the world back in that day.
Right.
So I hope the coaching staff, we can take it on and make sure that they're just ready to go out and play their game. So.
Well, again, best of luck tonight, 8 o'clock tonight. Again, we're looking for the punch a ticket to the state final game next week. Again, I know you're going to be ready to go. Congratulations, Coach
Thanks, Jake.
Again, that's going to be it for us here at Greencastle. Again, it's been a fantastic game, fantastic opportunity to bring this game to you. Lady Musketeers victorious 49-40 over the North Knox Lady Warriors. That's going to be it. We will be back here 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you. This is Lady Musketeer Basketball on WSLM.